war with Iran is intensifying across the Middle East, with the ripple effects being felt in the United States and around the world. Israel and the U.S. keep pounding Iran, while Hezbollah ramps up attacks into the north.
The USS Tripoli just received orders that could reshape the entire Middle East conflict. And this isn't a drill. Iran's recent strike on an American oil tanker triggered something Washington doesn't do lightly: a full amphibious-ready group deployment. The Tripoli, loaded with Marines and strike aircraft, is now steaming toward the Strait of Hormuz with one mission: keep that waterway open, by force if necessary. Here's what most people don't realize about amphibious assault ships. They're not just troop transports. The Tripoli carries F-35B Lightning fighters, attack helicopters, and enough firepower to flatten coastal defenses before Marines ever hit the beach. It's a floating invasion force that can project power in ways a traditional carrier group can't. The moment deployment orders came through, the ship transformed into controlled chaos. Marines who'd been on standby grabbed combat gear and moved to staging areas. Below deck, ammunition pallets got broken down and distributed. Small arms, heavy weapons, anti-tank systems, everything cataloged, everything accounted for. Up on the flight deck, maintenance crews swarmed the F-35s, missiles mounted to wing pylons. Each aircraft cycled through diagnostic checks while pilots reviewed strike packages in the ready room. But here's where it gets interesting. The Tripoli isn't sailing alone. 3 escort destroyers took formation positions around the assault ship.
Donald Trump has time and again said that he did not know Iran had so many naval vessels, followed by claims that U.S. forces had decimated Iran's navy.
Their vertical launch systems loaded with Tomahawk cruise missiles. Each destroyer carries enough firepower to take out Iranian naval bases, radar installations, and command centers before the Tripoli's aircraft even launch. And those aircraft? They're already armed for both air-to-air combat and ground strikes. The pilots know their targets: Iranian Revolutionary Guard positions along the strait, anti-ship missile batteries on the coast, fast attack boats that have been harassing commercial shipping for months. The message Washington is sending couldn't be clearer. The strait stays open. But what happens when the Tripoli actually arrives in those contested waters changes everything. The real test comes when those warships enter Iranian missile range. Iranian commanders aren't sitting idle.
The Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar said that the U.S. and Israel will, not stop until the common goals are achieved. But just a day earlier, we also heard from Donald Trump for the first time about the divergence in objectives when it comes to the end game in Iran.
They've watched the battle groups approach on radar for days, repositioning mobile launchers along the coastline. Fast attack boats dispersed to hidden inlets. Submarines moved into patrol zones. Tehran knows what's coming, and they've prepared accordingly. The Tripoli's air wing launches first. F-35Bs lift off vertically, transition to forward flight, and form up in strike packages. Their mission isn't invasion, it's suppression. Those coastal missile batteries need to go dark before any tanker convoy moves through. What makes this operation different from traditional carrier strikes? The Tripoli can operate closer to shore, putting Marines within helicopter range of Iranian territory. That proximity is both an advantage and a vulnerability. Iranian anti-ship missiles can reach the assault ship from multiple launch sites simultaneously.
Hezbollah launched around 200 missiles at northern Israel overnight in a coordinated attack with Iran, which launched 4 ballistic missile salvos. The attacks continued on Thursday morning, sending Israelis to bomb shelters as shrapnel fell on Jerusalem.
The destroyers respond before Iranian forces can exploit that weakness. Tomahawks begin launching from vertical cells, white contrails arcing toward pre-planned targets inland. Each missile follows terrain-hugging flight paths, programmed to hit command bunkers and radar installations that coordinate Iran's coastal defenses. 30 minutes later, the F-35s reach their targets. Precision-guided munitions drop on hardened positions. Secondary explosions confirm hits on ammunition depots. The pilots work through their target lists methodically, clearing corridors for the tanker convoys waiting offshore. Meanwhile, Marine assault elements remain aboard the Tripoli, ready but not deployed. Their presence alone changes the calculus. Iran has to defend everywhere, because an amphibious landing could hit any point along hundreds of miles of coastline.
This race against time, and even though the United States has superior firepower, but we understand that this is again a battle of survivability, at least for Iran.
The convoy begins moving. 3 commercial tankers, escorted by guided missile cruisers, enter the strait under the protective umbrella of American air power. Iranian patrol boats monitor from a distance, but don't engage. The cost of challenging this level of force projection exceeds any tactical benefit. The waterway stays open. But everyone involved knows this is temporary dominance, not permanent control. The next convoy will require the same overwhelming presence. The real test comes when those warships enter Iranian missile range. Tehran's military commanders have been tracking the battle group for days. Mobile missile launchers repositioned under cover of darkness.
As the president himself acknowledged, he underestimated just the size of the Iranian force. And remember, this is the...
Fast attack boats scattered to concealed inlets along the coast. Submarines slipped into patrol corridors. Iran knows exactly what's heading their way, and they've spent that time preparing their response. The Tripoli's F-35Bs launch first. Vertical takeoff, transition to forward flight, formation assembly. Their objective isn't to invade Iranian territory, it's to blind it. Those coastal anti-ship batteries need to stop functioning before any oil tanker moves through that strait. Here's what separates this operation from standard carrier strikes. The Tripoli operates dangerously close to hostile shores, close enough to put Marines within helicopter insertion range of Iranian coastline. That positioning cuts both ways. Iranian missiles can converge on the assault ship from multiple angles simultaneously. The escort destroyers don't wait for that to happen.
What?
Tomahawk launches begin in rapid sequence, vertical cells opening one after another. Each cruise missile drops, ignites, and accelerates toward coordinates locked in days earlier. Command bunkers, radar facilities, the infrastructure that turns scattered missile batteries into a coordinated threat network. 30 minutes pass. The F-35s arrive over their assigned zones. Bombs detach, guide themselves to hardened positions below. Ammunition storage sites erupt in secondary blasts visible from the ship. Pilots methodically eliminate each target, carving safe corridors through what was, minutes ago, a lethal defensive network. Back on the Tripoli, Marine assault teams remain in ready status. Not deployed, just ready. That ambiguity forces Iran to spread defensive resources across hundreds of miles of vulnerable coastline. They can't predict where an amphibious landing might occur, so they have to defend everywhere. The tanker convoy enters the strait. 3 massive commercial vessels, flanked by American cruisers, moving under the protective dome of total air superiority. Iranian patrol craft observe from maximum distance. They don't challenge. The mathematics of engaging this concentration of firepower don't favor survival. The waterway remains open, for now. Both sides understand this demonstration of force doesn't establish permanent control. The next convoy will demand the same overwhelming commitment. The cycle continues.